Hi, Sarah. Looking at your really interesting and moving video essay, I found myself thinking about two interesting features of the construction of your images and of your visual narrative, and I'll try to illustrate these with some images. The first thing was the way that in this and many other pictures you use trees and bridges and foliage to frame aspects of the riverscape to give us a sense, almost theatrically, of a proscenium arch over a stage through which we view the backdrop of the city, turning the city, and especially the river space, into a kind of theatrical place of imagination that focuses our view. It's a very effective technique that draws on landscape painting and so forth, and you use it very imaginatively to give us a sense of the city's river place as a site of fantasy, imagination, outside of the conventional realms of urban culture. And the other nice thing you do is you give us a vision of aquatic bird life on the river, as in this wonderful mallard and swans elsewhere and so forth. And that seems to me is also part of a kind of cultural and literary tradition, especially in Boston, of thinking of the birds along the river as our sort of alternate citizens, our sort of doppelgangers. So we live on the land, but somehow it's the bird life that we feel are special kinds of citizens that, as it were, move in a kind of transitional way back and forth between the river world and the terrestrial world, and you give us a very nice sense of that. And it's a very resonant theme, of course, in the literature and visual imagination of the city. It's a well-developed theme, especially in one of the most well-beloved of all children's books, certainly the great Boston children's book, Make Way for Ducklings by Robert McCloskey, in which the ducks, Mr. and Mrs. Mallard and their offspring, are the alternate citizens of the city. The river is really their world, and really the great thing about this is that we're first taken into this sort of literally bird's eye view of the city. We see the river as this place of coming into life, and then, of course, the story moves on to the great epic pilgrimage through the city streets, through the traffic and so forth, making their way to the Boston Public Garden, where of course all the ducks are immortalized as the citizens of the city, the sort of alternate citizens of the city, the river coming into the cityscape through the lovely piece of sculpture that is so beloved by many generations of children. And I felt in many ways your visual essay paid homage or recalls that interesting kind of transposition between the world of the ducks and the aquatic bird life and the human citizens of this river-oriented city.